Um, Hello. Today is day 4 of the video journal, a very original and creative name, if I may say. Uh, it's the 15th of January, and I am kind of stressing about today's video vlog thing, but I've been very much enjoying it and simultaneously feeling less stressed out about it, which is conflicting. I look a little bit more of a mess today, I think, than yesterday. Which probably means I need to take a shower, just keep my hair looking. I'm that's kind of embarrassing to be worrying about, but I do want to keep some kind of an appearance, whatever that means. I don't really know what that means. So I guess I'm a little high. Um, I guess I'm a daily stoner, to be fair. I'm taking time from social media to do this. This is my break. So yeah, I'm gonna try to relax and just enjoy. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and enjoy this. Um, I have been enjoying communicating more. Though simultaneously, I am also continuing to be hesitant to answer phone calls and talk to people. I'm still facing anxiety and etc. Because I'm less conditioned than I was against speaking at all, which is nice. I'm gonna be shameless, because that helps me relax. Yeah. Right. This is my lunch for today so far. I should get something with more protein in it, but it's just fruit smoothie with orange juice. I put way too many cranberries in it, and it's sour, but it's not bad. I kind of feel obligated to eat it or drink it. I'm not quite eating as much as I want to be. I wanted to make a big dinner tonight, but then somewhere along the line, I lost some motivation. It's only 2 o'clock, but I don't really have the. I don't have the willingness to make like a proper multi-course meal. I do have enough money for DoorDash, which is funny. I just got money too, and I spent a large majority of it on materials for my dream catchers. Yeah, dream catchers. Still working on those. I should have some stuff tomorrow. I couldn't finish even if I want. I couldn't finish because I wanted to add some beads, and the stuff I have is a little bit too cheap. I didn't like the quality. I didn't like the lack of meaning behind them. So we're getting some proper materials now. uh, um, Yesterday we left off on the idea, um, generally, I've been leaving these on the idea of love and beauty and the improvement of etc. The betterment of life, how to make life more blank, more better. I've been talking about more creative endeavors, wanting to record some artistic process. I feel as if that should be a separate thing, just because this is so much more convenient to set up without the desktop, at least with the default app, camera app. Yeah. Um. Hmm. Other than that, I'm kind of waiting on some buddies to hop on to Discord. We're gonna probably play some Marvel Rivals, some Deadlock. I need some practice against with real people against bots still. The real players in that game have been stomping us for the last couple matches, so we need some practice with just the characters. Yeah, there's some nerdy. It's fun. It's my most direct line into like society. Just that little gaming group. I feel like more human and connected to humanity for it. Even if it's something as silly as like the meta game of some unheard. Yeah, it's fun. It's something to think about. We dig into it. We enjoy it. Gives us something to talk about. Connect over. Whatever. Oh, yeah, along those lines, I've been talking. I've been talking to some familiar friends again. We've been talking more actively. There are certain people I don't feel as comfortable. I can't be myself and be willing to communicate with at the same time, which is almost a relief of a realization. I can kind of breathe. I understand, there's some ease of the burden when you like realize you can just relax and not have to try and prove yourself there. Maybe a little bit rambling. Yeah, rock on. What else? What else? Yeah, I gave a little smile there a couple minutes. I mean, a minute ago. I don't know exactly. Um, it comes back to those familiar groups of friends. I was talking yesterday about circles, spheres of community, these like tribal centers. And you have these much like archetypes, tribes form around different archetypes, universal constructs and ideas, extremes or mundanes. We have the similar mundane or similar crazy beliefs, whatever the beliefs may be. They're similar in these, um, within these circles, yeah. Because I found psychology has been interesting. I've had a lot of time to dig into myself, obviously. But at some point, you find I feel like you do find a bottom to that, and it is, you know, the self is relatively shallow compared to the entirety, even if it is all composed of individual selves. There's something greater in that whole, and the different rhythmics you can get from, you know. Sorry, I lost the chain of thought there. Um, yeah, that's why social psychology is obviously to me at least, more interesting than psychology as typically seen to be an individual science trying to understand one person. trying to understand yourself, maybe. No one's trying to understand how others and others connect to each other. No, well, obviously, some people are doing that. I wish I had stayed in school for longer if I'm going down that line of thought too far. In that, though, yeah, I've found interest in exploring different tribes and, like a chameleon, you camouflage into them. Obviously, hmm, yeah, I found interest in exploring the dynamics of people and groups. People, groups, and their actual brand are three entirely separate phenomena. People who partake in a group might perceive it to be the total opposite of what another person perceives it to be. The nature of philosophy and truth and language is very debatable. It's arbitrary. It's very easy to flip logic with enough switches. Which is why I don't like debates about truth and because I enjoy them enough. I enjoy them like a hard drug where I don't want to get into that because I could go too deep and at some point truth's irrelevant and if you know it's very easy to find yourself back at the start as lost or more lost than you were before your pursuit. The pursuit of like some kind of grander singular truth is admirable, but doesn't take into the account the existing picture of reality that is contradiction, conflict, and the intermingling of symbiosis and parasitism, of exploitation and saviorism, martyrism. You have saints exist as much as horrible people do, as much as serial killers do. We don't get talked about as often. Uh, they don't get talked about as much. They don't get talked about as much as they should. Everyone loves a hero story. To be fair, I'm being reasonable about that. But my experience with studying group dynamics of any sort largely comes from text interactions and any like yeah. I feel like you can learn a lot about how people function together by either creating a space for people to exist in or by existing in that space that someone else has created. And by exist, I mean to partake in so regularly as if it's like a morning routine, like your cup of coffee. You have a chat. That's what it means to exist within a community, not to talk once a month necessarily. Time scales differ, whatever. I keep losing my train of thought. Tonight was the last night. I mean, was the best sleep score I've gotten forever. Since I started tracking, I bought a cheap smartwatch. 84 out of 100. There you go. Numbers. That is one truth I do enjoy. The fact that can count, that you can assign numbers to a lot of things, and it feels very maybe odd to point that out, but there is variations of truth that can be pointed to and clarified on, you know. The malleability of language. Words have many meanings. I'm not really looking at myself too much today. Um, Not in my eyes. My lips are so chapped from the snow. That's gross. It's as painful as it looks too. Yeah. Um, I'm not in a bad mood. I'm pretty happy. Um, Despite everything, I'm pretty happy. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to gaming with my buddies. Um, we've been talking about AI some more, and my buddies are all big nerds, so it's fun to talk to them about that kind of stuff. It feels it's something we all kind of like are interested in at the very least. So yeah, and not only is it interesting, it's one of the more productive conversations I feel that we have, because it can lead to us like creating something here or there, some small like very motivational like, and those more creative, constructive conversations are what I'm after these days. How can we work together to create something cool? Do you have any ideas that can help me create something cool? I have an idea for you. Maybe I know my buddies like well enough that sometimes like I can offer them something that vibes with them in a way that is constructive and not pandering or whatever else. You know, is genuinely good intention and helpful. I try to motivate them to do stuff. You know, as far as when they complain that they're not doing stuff, then I'm like, hey, you should do something. Yeah, try to offer some ideas. Help as much as you can without being annoying, I guess. Um, I do feel like I have to expand on this format because this is it's nice to get some words out, but I don't have many words in mind right now. I am kind of just filling in space, performing too much, and I'm performing badly, so I don't know why I'm trying to perform. uh, I feel like I'm waiting for something. I don't know. I don't quite know what. I'm trying to remember what I need to do. There's something useful to do. There's an irony in that I'm doing this video journal and intentionally ignoring other things I could be doing because of it. And the people I could be responding to or talking to or thinking about the things they said to me. I'm still thinking about them. I'm not even thinking of this really now. I don't know what to do. You know? Oh, I gotta wait a little bit longer. Um, oh, I started a. We have a larger dream catcher now in the works. Apparently, this is for knitting or something, but I've rearranged it in a way as to turn it into a dream catcher eventually. uh, I was letting the glue dry, which is why I haven't begun to finish it yet. It's going to be quite a bit of work, and right this second, I don't want to do it. Um, I'm also worried because it's wooden. I'm not going to be able to put any tension in the weave without it snapping in half on me. But we'll find out. Yeah, it's bigger than the other rings I have, which is why I've given it a shot in the first place. I have so much of that red thread, leather thread, ribbon stuff that I'm not worried about it. It should last me like forever. I should be able to make like dozens, but we'll find out. Yeah, it was cheap enough. Yeah. I am very much hoping, on my mind is the idea of eventually selling, getting good enough to sell some of the crafts I make. As much as the activity in itself is rewarding, yeah. It would be nice to have the dual reward, if I'm being honest, yeah. I don't quite feel like my quality is up to par yet. And I guess I don't have I could have more pride about it, um, which I've been improving on. Yeah, I've been trying to do a little better every time. It's my name. I imagine my name's attached to it in some way. My spirit is, and I don't want to talk about keeping up appearances. I don't want to look bad because I'm not trying to be bad. It's a misrepresentation as far as I'm concerned. If I'm, and if it's not, then I'm doing. Either way, something's wrong. Either I'm doing wrong or I'm not showing that I'm doing the correct thing enough. Roundabout way of. This is my roundabout word salad. Oh God. Ooh. Hmm. I don't quite know what I will. I don't quite know what I want to do though. I didn't exactly want to start this. I knew I had to. I kind of told myself I had to. 'Cause, I've already done 3 days. I have to continue. Um, on that note, I was saying that these were going to be around 20 minutes, and it is 24 minutes now. I'm trying to imagine what else I have to say. I'm satisfied for some reason. I feel content. Um, I should very much get a proper lunch in order. Though I feel like I am kind of force feeding myself, and I don't quite like it. I don't like having to involuntarily eat. I know. I very much think I need to be healthy. Like I need to It's very much annoying to have to overcome an instinct. Yeah, it feels very wrong. There's like this primal like, hey, don't do that. But I'm like, I'm fucking hungry, dude. I got the munchies. I don't know. Does that make? I don't know how much sense that makes, man. Primal, weird word. You think before language? What was mind before language? It was like feeling alone, feeling without proper identification, even maybe. And then you get the gut feeling, yeah. We don't often return to states of humanity like that, where we feel we're so far. Where we're so far removed from language, where we actually we get to feel our natural state again. Yeah, not very often. And we're very much trapped in this like a matrix of sorts of communication, language boundaries within language, within languages themselves too. There's even certain traps of not being able to see the whole world because you don't have the words to relate it with. As in the case of languages that don't have words for certain colors or shades of colors. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm tired. I want to win a game of Deadlock today. That's like actually my goal. Just 'cause I haven't won like a non-AI game yet. Um, I am looking forward to playing some Rivals too. I've been stuck in bronze for the last few days, but I haven't been playing very much, to be fair. And this season just started, like, yeah, I've been playing a couple of games a day. I haven't been playing enough to actually rank up yet. Not that I'm good at the game enough to like carry a team to ranking up fast. Kind of cringing myself for getting into the whole gaming talk on camera. I'm a man. I don't waste my time on video games. I eat barley and hammer nails into wood to make shelves. Yeah, I don't know. Tangent. Hmm. And another thing we've been talking about, I foreshadowed this earlier about the AI, the interest in AI. If you don't know what Neurosama is, either look it up yourself or don't worry. It's basically what I want to work towards is setting up an AI avatar kind of thing. Sort of like a Siri, basically a Siri. Um, yeah, and I was vaguely digging for some GitHub uh repositories. I know very much. Obviously, I'm not gonna be able to afford a very coherent or intelligent or fast or good AI avatar assistant thing. I'm looking for affordable. Yeah, just because I think it'd be funny, if nothing else. Literally because it'd be funny, and just because as maybe an art project of sorts in itself. It's kind of funny. I don't know why I find this funny. The chapstick lines looks like fucking. I have vampire teeth. Mm. Maybe the image is vaguely more blurry on my screen. I don't know. Um, yeah, little AI avatar assistant thing too. I've had that idea for a few years now, actually. then kind of like a Neopet, Tamagotchi kind of thing. It just lives on your screen, evolves over time, eats, and you have to feed it and keep it have you have to you kind of teach it over time. I just find that it's kind of interesting. It's like a little life sim in itself. I've always found life simulators and evolution simulators very interesting when it comes to like programmed games and such. Conway's Game of Life was one of the foundational concepts. Like in its execution existed concepts that I've used to structure the very foundation of my like existence and belief on, which is a lot to explain, obviously. And it sounds very overplayed to say it that way and not elaborate further. I feel like I'll get to it eventually. If I continue this, I hope I do. What else? I'm trying to accomplish yesterday's task for today's journal here, which is the active curation of some kind of beauty, the betterment of something. And it's nice to elaborate on some of the thoughts I've been having, but I haven't I feel the need to dig deeper and actually unravel something instead of looking so much at face value, the face value of it. Um, chaos, 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 chaos. Right. I don't want to end this right now. I don't feel done yet. I'm kind of searching for a way to end it, but I don't feel honest doing that either. I'm putting on too much of a performance again. Hmm, just pressure. I feel pressure. Um, Performance anxiety of a kind. I'm kind of multitasking here too. I'm not just staring off into the void. I am searching for something of substance to add, and I feel in lack of that, silence is maybe more meaningful. Does that make sense? I've very much been inspired by spiritual teachers throughout the years. These new age gurus, Ram Dass, McKenna. Mentioned yesterday. I mentioned Dr. Leary. I've been very interested in Eastern philosophies and meditation, and Middle Eastern too, Far East, Middle East. When it comes to Sikhism and Sufism, where was I? Sorry, I have so many little tangents. Yeah, in all of those, I've found a kind of patience that it's beautiful. They take such long pauses and they're so shameless about it. It's relieving. Yeah, there's no pressure. And then they occasionally get into flows and just it feels like it comes out and just doesn't stop. But then they'll take like a 5 minute like silence just to figure something out or search for You just to find center, find God again, and then depending how far out they are, yeah, and depending on your use of language, what that means differs a lot. But yeah, that patience and willingness to wait for a thought instead of forcing it out is something that I've found admirable in various spiritual teachers that I have personally found reasons to respect. If not teachers in spiritual books, as I see the idea resonated, um, replicated, repeated over time, over many sources and mediums, yeah. And those are the cool kinds of, those feel like self-evident truths. These patterns you see in things that, they serve, if not as universal principles, then as guiding principles. Like, they offer some kind of beacon in a place that is otherwise dark. Sorry. Fuck. Yeah, humanity. Oh, I found myself very impatient. Too impatient to properly meditate. Meditate, yeah. Though, this offers a kind of meditative introspection that I admire. I'm glad to know meditation is not one singular thing. It can be very diverse. My friend was asking me what kind of meditation was I planning to do. It's one thing to say video journaling. What does that mean? What is the pursuit? Like, what are you searching for in the meditation? I've answered this question. What am I searching for? The improvement, the betterment. That in itself, I hope is not a never-ending cycle of realization. You find the answer, and it is to find a better answer. But then you never seek to implement the better answer they have before you search for a better one. If that makes sense, you get stuck in the cycle of updating without updating, or like, and stuck in a cycle of improvement, never put into production because you're always improving, so you never release the prototype. Like, I feel like that can happen to yourself if you get stuck in the idea that your goal is to improve, solely to improve, without having end goals like more obvious, reachable goals set out. And my buddy's ready to game here, but I'm gonna finish my third smoke of this video journal. What a weird word. I kind of can't believe I'm doing this. I still have to make something to eat before I think I want to play games, which is I feel bad. I feel like my buddies are expecting me. But in that, contrary to everything, there's a selfishness that I believe is healthy in me, refraining from that interaction until I am not starving, not in ketosis or whatever you want to call it, not actively burning fat that I don't have. I wish I would. Wishful thinking. I'm very much annoyed by it, where I find myself wishing. You're always wishing for something. Like, how do you? My fight is against biology. It feels my own biology at times, and in a large part, my fight is against addiction. If I'm to be honest, and if I'm not at war with addiction or my own biology, I'm I can often be at war with myself, regardless, um, for whatever reason. Pick your poison on that, on whatever excuse you want to use to punish yourself with. Yeah, whatever form that manifests. Mm, I'm literally daydreaming of food. I I have to admit, it's a certain kind of, I don't want to be so dramatic as to say it's a certain kind of hell. It's a certain kind of annoyance to be hungry but not to be able to eat while having food. I imagine it's like being in the ocean and dying of thirst. Almost worse to think how closely the myth correlates with the man in what's it, Tartarus, the Greek hell, um, drinking from a puddle that drains when you get close, reaching up for apples that shrivel as you touch them. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. That's morbid, isn't it? Shit. I like the Greek myths though. Even the tragedies are. There's a reason they're archetypical. They exist as such extremes as to be categorical in themselves. They themselves exist as a category of being. They're not a part of anything, which I find cool. I'm still fantasizing about food. I'm thinking craft dinner and tuna. Dinner of champions. If I can stomach some fucking pasta and shit, man. Yeah, it is quite frustrating. uh, Equally frustrating is this craving I have for pure junk food. Um, Things that lack nutrition entirely, that are just genuinely pure sugar. I don't quite know what my gut biome is looking like, what has infested it over the years. I feel like I need to make a shift of some kind, fairly drastic. Though I've tried altering my diet over the years, I find myself gravitating towards the very similar things. Yeah, and if that's what my body allows me to eat, um, in lieu of not eating, I don't know. As I don't have a good option. You know? I feel So privileged to have this concern. I hope you have food, and I hope you enjoy it. And for the food that I have that I can't, like, genuinely, there's no resentment in that. There's a maybe a vague, a funny kind of jealousy. I see it when I see people able to enjoy a meal. Like, is that weird? Yeah. Oops. Oh, on that note, I'm thinking DoorDash. To spoil myself, get some calories. Betterment, the betterment of things, the improvement of life. How do we improve life? How do we not just give up and die? And what's the motivation to do better? Well, the motivation for some people is not to go to hell. And maybe if you stretch the definition of hell, that's the motivation of everyone. No one wants to suffer unduly. No one wants to put themselves in a situation where they suffer down the line for it. Hell is not a place exactly. It's not, if you disconnect from the Christian idea of it, it's not the underworld. It's not a special place in the bowels of the earth. It is a state of mind. It is a state of existence, and hell is suffering. Heaven is, not suffering. I think too often we aim to visit heaven, sorry, only when it's too late. We think heaven is something we get after. When heaven should be the standard. Hell is what to avoid. And hell is sometimes what we wait for. Heaven is now, and heaven is leaving. That's how I see it sometimes. I'm gonna end it there. With love, despite everything. With love.